Um, so, unless, of course, you've been asleep for the last 2 weeks, uh, it's finally confirmed that Donald Trump is the president-elect, having won the American elections by a landslide, not only by winning handsomely with the electoral votes, but also the popular vote, meaning all the people that voted, the majority overall voted for him.
Yeah.
His opponent, Kamala Harris, has to explain to her financial backers where her campaign where her campaign funds were sent, as her campaign costs $1 billion. 1B. Oh, and she still owes $20 million to vendors. That's those who hired out space and equipment and that she hired. It seems that the backers were licking their wounds more than Harris after all.
Well,
She was losing with their money, and they have a bit of a flea behind the ear about it. Many big backers were complaining because they said that the Harris team said that the polls were closer than what they actually were. But I mean, if I'm a billionaire, I'd have my own people looking into that.
Yeah.
You know, they say a fool and his money is easily parted. And in this case, there must have been an awful lot of fools surrounding Harris.
Yeah.
It's been reported that her interviews were expensive. Those interviews that she gave. It's been alleged that Oprah took a cool million for that interview and endorsement. And I'm not surprised Oprah got up and danced, because for that money I would have been doing cartwheels all around the room.
Well, I think, yeah.
Money for Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, Beyonce, and any other celebrity who wished to put the face out there and praise Harris, and also slag off Trump.
Well, yeah, territory. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But they all have egg on their faces. But I tell you, very expensive egg, it needs to be said.
Proper shake.
Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
You know who Al Sharpton is? He's an American preacher man.
Yeah.
Who's all protesting about fair rules for blacks and whites and
okay, yeah.
He's a scam artist, but I
yeah, well, probably it's last.
It's good to highlight this gentleman, as he had an interview with Harris on the TV channel MSNBC, that channel of hard-hitting, fact-finding journalism.
Microsoft's channel, is it? MS? Yeah.
MSNBC. The interview was incredibly softball. This guy's got a program on the TV channel. And he did this interview, and it was really, really almost like asking Joe Biden what sort of ice cream he likes to eat. It was very softball, very hunky-dory. It turns out he received $500,000 a couple of weeks beforehand by a campaign, which was deposited in his non-profit organization. A definite no-no for a person who has a program on the TV to receive and not disclose during the interview. It's sort of like a pay-to-play. I'll give you the money, you give me a good interview.
Yeah.
So, what with consultants having consultants, all taking their unworthy share of campaign funds, fleece the candidate like no other. Luckily, she didn't win the election, because if she did, she'd be in charge of the public purse. And Lord knows what she would have done.
Okay.
Over to you on that one. A
Right.
campaign, $1 billion campaign. how do you spend it?
Where do you start with it? I mean, I mean, I saw a program highlighting this a few years ago about, they had an American come and look at the, I think it was British election, or it was a British election, and how soon we start an election, yeah, and how quickly we do it, and how little we actually spend in comparison. And we know this from Brazil. There's a lot of money spent on elections in Brazil, yeah, which has its own issues. Campaigning is campaigning. Ultimately, you've got to get your message out there to the people, and you can only throw so much money doing that. Whether we like him or not, Donald J. Trump has charisma to burn. Yeah. I mean, you can talk about a guy who went into a McDonald's burger joint, a burger place, and was talking to people through a window. Yeah. Not long after having had an assassination attempt done on him. Okay, is he egotistical? I think most people at that sort of level are. Yeah. Well, we sit in front of the camera once a week or twice a week, broadcasting to the world. There has to be a bit of ego in that. Yeah, but you look at him, he's quite happy to go in front of any camera for free, or I think they did. I saw something about that they were going to pay a celebrity, and the celebrity refused, but still endorsed Trump anyway. Afterwards, was really pleased he won.
It was the guy. It was the guy. That song that he plays at the beginning of his rallies.
Yeah,
I'm proud to be American.
Yeah.
They said that he was paid a fortune for the using of that song, and he said no. He said that
No.
he didn't receive a penny. He said his wife worked for Donald Trump for 20 years.
Yeah.
Before he even decided to get into politics.
Mm.
He's known Donald Trump for years, donkey's years.
Yeah.
And he's a very nice man.
Mm.
And he said he let Donald Trump lose the song for nothing.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest, his internet sales and his probably physical sales of the record have probably gone up. So yeah, they've been off spin.
He's re-released it. He's made a new version of it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, no such thing as bad publicity, really. Yeah, I mean, it's Donald Trump. Okay, he had some celebs around him. A lot of. I often find this quite interesting. Always have done. Okay, Hollywood by its very nature and Democrat have always attracted. Well, since I can remember, have always been a little bit more left leaning, whatever left means now. And yeah, are going to be more Democrat. It is kind of, I find this very, very odd with celebs. If you've got a message you want to say something, say it. Yeah. You don't need to go on expenses or anything else. If you truly committed to something, you go and do it. I don't know if the Trump paid any celebs. I must admit, you've just mentioned this. I haven't really paid much attention to all this. I actually found this quite boring, to be quite honest, on both sides. Yeah. It's if you've got a belief or believe strongly in something, you say it. I mean, and that's what I believe. The notion that, yeah, she's managed to blow $1 billion. Well, she hasn't. She'd have had people around him. Hopefully she's had
very hard to blow $1 billion and still be in debt for 20 million. She's got a campaign online for donate so that we can pay off debt.
GoFundMe. Yeah, GoFundMe so I can GoFundMe. Yeah.
I think she's going to have to start up a what is it, OnlyFans page. Try and rake it in that way.
I'm saying nothing on that. Yeah, I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want to be a target of trying to get money away. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
involve a husband in some way.
Please, images, Steve. Images.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
I'll shut up. I won't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, how did they manage? I mean, I wouldn't like to say that people have misappropriated the money. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, if I was a billionaire, I threw money at it. I think I don't know how Trump was actually funded. I don't believe he was I know he wasn't totally self-funded. He had backers as well.
Not this time.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and people help it. I mean, yeah, you get the activists on the parties and all that who do it for free, and I respect these people, whatever side the fence they're on. They're getting out. They're doing something they believe in for free. Yeah, if it's making cups of tea or drinks for people in the venues, or going out and not carrying placards, but yeah, trying to be activists. I respect them, and I've been approached by these people in the UK on my way to polling stations and things, and said, not intimidatory. I said, look, I'm voting for someone else, but I respect you for doing it. And I said that to their face. I respect you for doing it. Thank you for being interested. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of respected me for that, which I think when I came out, I just gave him a quick wave as I went out. Yeah. Not ironically. But it is again, I don't feel sorry for billionaires who want to slash the cash around, slosh the cash. They're doing it to try and get something out of it. Yeah. It's an investment for them. It's an investment for them. So am I gonna weep tears for them? Sorry, no, I'm not. Yeah. I do feel that the people I do feel sorry for, and I generally mean this, and doesn't matter, are the people that have slogged on the ground at grassroots level, their candidate, have been let down, or been let down by the system, either the wider system. They're the people I feel sorry for, and that's on both sides. At the moment in the US, there is a division, and when I'm reading that wives aren't going along to visit their husbands at families at Thanksgiving because they vote, and even the husband's put 47th president on there. That's the sad side about the division we have. And yeah, okay, we're looking at the money, but I'm looking at the wider thing. All this money gets spent and all that, and it just seems to be causing issues. But fundamentally, across the whole of the US now, there is a big division with all this and hatred. I'm just going to mention this here, and this has got to stop. If you like, what has happened has happened. Hopefully, I mean, it does strike me that the Trump administration is drawing in people from all angles, all sides. Yeah, I mean, what would be a nice gesture maybe for Mr. Trump, if Donald Trump, if he offered Harris a job almost. Yeah, but I don't think that happened. Hang on, sound's gone.
I said I don't think so. I said it under my breath.
Yeah. I just make a suggestion. I mean, she needs a few quid apparently to pay off her debts. Yeah. Again, I don't know where the money's gone. I think that's going to be interesting. That's for something internal to the Democrat Party to do. And if there's been any misappropriation of money, a wider investigation by law enforcement, maybe.
I've an idea. How about this one, Carmela? Put your hand in your pocket.
But she hasn't really got any money, has she, herself? I don't know.
Well, she's I don't think she's skint. She's worth a few bob.
Ask Pelosi for some money. She's got a few quid, hasn't she?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. I don't know about Chuck Schumer. Although him and Trump seem to be quite friendly terms sometimes.
There are an awful lot of politicians, and I don't know how, but when they enter the office, they leave office with far more wealth than what they entered.
Well,
It's a coincidence.
Well, we've mentioned this before in podcasts, I believe.
Which is probably why they're spending $1 billion on a campaign.
Well, the easiest
Lord
money.
knows what.
The easiest
Lord
money.
knows how.
It's easy. It's easy to spend somebody else's money, as we well know. Yeah, when you and I, well, I have to work for a day. I mean, yeah, I'm doing this podcast in between my day job. So yeah, the rest of us actually have to work and everything else.
But all these people donating, investing, if you like, there's got to be one hell of a return on investment for that sort of money.
Well, again, this is what's probably stick with US politics. And I mean, I don't know. And possibly other places in the world, other regions, possibly here in Brazil. I don't know, I don't know what happens to money here. Yeah.
I know that the American economy is a trillion with the T, trillion dollar economy.
Yeah.
So it might have something to do with that, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, the more money, I mean, it's the prune juice thing. The more you put in at the top, the more comes out at the bottom, as it were. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's interesting, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily this has been reported. It's but the outlets I saw briefly on some leaning outlets in the US that it's too big for them to even ignore. Yeah, and I get to sound odd here. I do feel sorry for Harris. She was put in a difficult situation. Okay, there's politics, and we all know the rough and tumble that Donald Trump said yesterday when he met dear old Biden, dear old Joe. Politics can be tough, but they were quite cordial with each other. Probably no love lost, or gained, but yeah, that's politics. But yeah, she's probably not even aware of herself all this was going on. Yeah, she just gets as you said, just gets put in front of a microphone and told to say something, or told not to say something, or told to say, don't know what to say, because she's quite dangerous if it's to her to decide. Yeah, I mean, actually talking on a mic is difficult, as we know from doing these podcasts. Yeah, and yeah, we can all do word salads, and sometimes we do word salads out of nervousness. Yeah. You normally do a word salad when you've got absolutely nothing to say, but got to fill in the time.
Which are not very good traits if you want to be president of the United States.
Well, like him or dislike him, Donald Trump does say things directly.
That's what I love about him.
Well, I don't agree with everything he says. Certainly not. No, I know exactly what he said.
You don't agree with everything I say, so
Yeah, well, yeah, everything. Some things. Yeah, 90. Yeah, I don't know. I've never done a percentage count on that. But yeah. Honestly, people, we get on all right, I think. But yeah, we're not about to run against each other. But what you have to remember with politics as well, and I've said it before, H.G. Wells wrote this about politicians, and H.G. Wells, the author, the Victorian author in UK, he was a journalist, but he also was involved in politics. He said, "We're just actors.